Hey, what's up everybody? It is Uncle Mad here today. It is Movie Monday. It's been a while since we did this. I said it was going to be a regular feature on the channel and then we immediately stopped doing it. That's the Uncle Mad guarantee you get. When we say we're going to do something on the channel, we're probably not. But we're back because I have finally seen the two biggest movies of the summer, the blockbusters, the hits, the crazy record-shattering event movies that came out in the last couple weeks. That's right. This is the Movie Monday Barbenheimer Barbie edition. I saw Barbie, I saw Oppenheimer. I'm gonna give you my thoughts, I'm gonna give you my reviews, I'm gonna tell you what I thought about both. Let's get right into it. So right out of the gates, I've been hearing for a while, following movie podcasts, movie entertainment news, that this was coming for a while. People were like baffled that both Barbie and Oppenheimer were going to come out basically the same weekend, because you typically, like big studio movies, like things that could be big hits, they try to stagger them, they try to avoid other big movies, but for whatever reason, I don't know if they just thought the audiences were going to be completely different or what, there seemed to be no issue with Barbie and Oppenheimer coming out the exact same weekend. But I almost wonder if that's like a huge conspiracy thing, because it turned into like a meme, like a thing like Barbenheimer. You gotta see both, you gotta do the double feature, you gotta see them back to back, there was the meme of, this is what I look like when I go see Barbie. And this is what I look like when I go see an Oppenheimer. So I almost think it was like a weird social media marketing ploy to get people to go see both movies by putting them out at the same time, because it worked. I saw both in a week. I didn't get to do the official Barbenheimer double feature. Saw Barbie on like a Sunday, then saw Oppenheimer on like a Wednesday, because we have one of the 20 real IMAX theaters that are in the continental United States here in Nashville. And it is basically sold out every single showing for Oppenheimer. So Wednesday at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon was the first time I could find a showing of Oppenheimer on the IMAX here in Nashville that was active and open. So it's been crazy. It was crazy, the marketing campaign behind both that kind of like united them into like this like double feature of like crazy entertainment, to where they came out the same weekend and they're both like the biggest movies in recent memory. So I'll start with Barbie first because I saw that one first. Spoiler alert. I don't know if I'm going to spoil anything in these reviews, but just in case. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Just in case. I don't know. I'm just going to ramble, shoot from the hip on these, so if I spoil anything, you just got warned. So Barbie, I was really interested in Barbie, like almost more so than Oppenheimer, because I knew Greta Gerwig, her filmography, her and Noah Baumbach, her partner that she wrote this movie with. Barbie's not exactly their wheelhouse, although she seems to be now moving into doing more IP. I don't know if that's because it's hard to get like non-IP movies made, because she just did Little Women recently, she did this, and I think next she's doing like new adaptations of Chronicles of Narnia for Netflix. So I don't know if she's just like interested in like exploring these established properties in like new and interesting ways, or if it's just like that's Hollywood now, you can't make anything but IP. But I knew a Barbie movie by her was not going to be like Michael Bay's Transformers, or like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or any other kind of like toy cartoon adaptation type thing. I knew she was going to have some kind of interesting concept, some kind of interesting twist on making the movie, and it absolutely did. Like, if you've seen the previews, you've seen the trailers, the basic kind of bare bones concept is Barbie exists in Barbie world, where all the Barbies that have ever lived, the Allens of the world, the Ken's best friend Alan, pregnant Barbie, boob enlargement Barbie, like all these, President Barbie, they all exist together in this happy, peaceful world of Barbiedom, where they all believe, because Barbie showed feminine power, how feminism, I'm just saying words that I don't even think are words, like can exist, and I think they basically saved the world. They think they made the world a better place, and then Barbie goes into the actual real world and discovers that it didn't quite work out that way. And Ken goes with her and discovers, hey, I'm like second fiddle to Barbie in Barbie Land, but in the real world, the patriarchy, men rule the world. This is kind of cool. And he tries to transform Barbie Land into what we have in the real world. So that's the basic backbone of the story. That's the story of it. And it's kind of this fight of like, what does Barbie represent? What should she be to the real world? It's really good, but it's really, really funny. It was like basically like a comedy. It's like the type of like comedy movie we don't see much anymore. Like I was just like listening to a podcast that was talking about how like This Is the End was kind of the last like not big budget but like prominent comedy film that got released in movie theaters. Like those kind of mid-level movies don't get released anymore that way. They go to like Netflix or Amazon or don't exist at all. And this was like a really funny movie. Like, Margot Robbie's incredible in it. She's like perfectly cast as Barbie. She's incredible in the role, like where she's like freaking out about, how do I have cellulite? And there's just so much good stuff that Ryan Gosling as Ken is like, he probably should win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor because he's just over the top insane, but also like spot on perfect. Like, it's weird. It's like, the people who don't like it say it's like corny or campy or stuff like that, but it's like, that's the point. And I think like his performance and Margot Robbie's performance, like knowing that it's supposed to be camp, knowing that it's supposed to be corny, but like steering into that, elevate the movie even more. It's incredible. I came out being a big Ryan Gosling fan, big Margot Robbie fan. It's not a perfect movie. Like, there's definitely some like parts that they could have cut. There's definitely some like stuff that wasn't fine, but I mean, like, it's really interesting. Like, they managed like not really hammer you over the head with like the message of like, oh, women are oppressed type thing, but just like kind of show it and kind of like let people realize it and kind of get into it that way. But also, like I said, balancing it with the humor. Like, Ryan Gosling's just hilarious as Ken. I mean, that's just the end all be all of it. I'm really like not looking forward to, you know, because who knows what's gonna happen between now and when like Academy Awards happen. But I think like his performance as Ken is gonna be what's more lasting and more remembered, because Barbie as a character is kind of static. Like, I think in the movie, like Margot Robbie's version of Barbie is even called stereotypical Barbie. So it's like, it's not like her performance wasn't as good as Ryan Gosling's as Ken, but it's just like her role was so different. He got to do so much more. It was almost unfair to her that he got this big, like, over the top role that got to do all this hilarious, funny stuff, and she was just kind of playing like a generic, standard version of Barbie. But even with that, she did really good. But I am kind of pre-worried that when we get to like awards season, there's going to be like a Discord that's like, why is everybody talking about Ryan Gosling's Ken? This is the Barbie movie. Margot Robbie's Barbie. And like I said, she's great in it. She's awesome in it. But I think, maybe unfairly to her, the Ken role was just a better role to play. So I think it's going to play out that that's going to be the role that's going to get a little bit more attention in the long run than her role, because that's just the nature of the two roles, which is almost like a weird parallel to what the movie's trying to tell you in the first place. But really liked it. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd because that's the star system they have there. I was teetering between 4 and 4.5, but I thought like, I felt like there was a few things they threw in there that they didn't like fully flesh out. Like the Will Ferrell is like the Mattel executive part was kind of tacked on. Like, he was funny in it. There's some funny elements with it, but it didn't really connect to like the rest of the story the same way some of the other stuff did. So that felt kind of patched in a little bit. But like, hilarious movie, really good message, really good movie, really performances across the board, really good, really well directed, well shot, well edited. Just liked it. 4 stars. Oppenheimer. Now, weirdly, like I said, this was the one I was maybe not as excited about, just because it's like, it's so hard to get like historical, like based on a true story, biopic type movies right. Just because like, I always feel like if I already know the ending, it almost makes the movie kind of pointless. Like Argo, I had just never could get behind Argo. I watched it and I was like, never really felt the tension of it. Never really felt like the motivation of the movie, because I was like, I know these people get out. I know, like, you know, Ben Affleck's gonna save these people. Like, there's no dramatic tension there because I know the end game. This one, I think Christopher Nolan did a really good job of attacking it from an angle of like, everybody knows the story. They know the bomb was successful. They know the bomb went off. Let's just look at the man. Let's like analyze a character study of what made Robert Oppenheimer motivated to be the person who would be behind this thing, and how did it affect him as a human? How did it affect his life? And I mean, it's just incredible movie. Like, Christopher Nolan's my favorite director. I think he's my favorite filmmaker going. Prestige, secretly his best movie. Go see that if you haven't. It kind of like fell by the wayside because it came in between all the Batman movies, but it is by far his best movie, I think. But this one maybe now is. And super long, but unlike some of the movies that have come out recently that are super long, it moves at a pace where you don't ever feel like it's going long. Hey, bonus review. I saw Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny about a month ago. I don't know why it got bad reviews. It was awesome. It was, you know, probably not as good as Raiders and Last Crusade, but I mean, it's a really good, really funny Indiana Jones movie. It's probably 30 minutes too long. And there's definitely parts of that movie where you're kind of like, this is dragging. We should probably move on from this. We probably don't need to be doing this right now. We could probably cut this part. Oppenheimer didn't really have that. It just felt like it kept going. The pace of it, even though it was long, was good. Like, the tension, like, you know the bomb test is going to be successful, but when they happen, like the way he shot it, the way he edited it, the way Christopher Nolan put the scenes together of them testing the bomb in Los Alamos, you're just like, you're on the edge of your seat like, I know this works. I know this works because I know we used the bomb, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's a secret, like, failed test that we never knew about. But the thing that really puts Oppenheimer over the top, it's the way it's shot. The way Christopher Nolan shot the movie is incredible. But the acting performance is over the top. Like, if Cillian Murphy, the Scarecrow, if he doesn't win Best Actor, then there's got to be some just, like, immaculate, like, all-time performance that's, like, still to come from a movie this year. Because he was absolutely incredible in the movie. There's, like, 500 actors you know in the movie. This is, like, the most, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know that girl. Oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know that girl movie you'll ever see. I mean, like, Josh Peck is in it, for crying out loud. Like, Casey Affleck shows up at one point in time. We're like, is that Casey Affleck? What's he doing here? It's crazy. Everybody in it is spot on. Everybody in it's really good. It was incredible. If you can get to one of the 20, like, real IMAX theaters that exist in the United States, go to one of those because it is unbelievable on IMAX. Loved it, top to bottom. Great film. I gave it 5 stars. Just thought it was awesome. One of the best movies I've seen in a very long time. Really entertaining. And the crazy thing about it was, like, another compliment to, like, it being long. It was long in a way where I was still like, I kind of want to go see it again. Like, you know, that was one thing I'd say against Dial of Destiny. I saw it. It was fun. I don't know if I'm ever going to watch it in its entirety again because it is like 30 to 40 minutes too long. Like, when Dial of Destiny comes on Disney Plus, I know what parts I can probably skip and not, you know, lose anything from the movie. So I might just skip those parts and, like, watch, like, a 2-hour chunk of it. But with this one, I would honestly, like, even go back to the theaters, pay again to go see it for, like, the whole 3:20, 3:30, whatever it is, 3 hours and 30 minutes, 3 hours and 20 minutes, whatever it is. It was that entertaining. It was that engaging. It was one of those movies where afterwards I went and did Wikipedia deep dives where I was, like, trying to, like, read more about all the different people that were involved in the whole story. Like, because, you know, it kind of does the Christopher Nolan thing that he always does where it kind of hops through points and times, gives you little pieces of the story, then it jumps somewhere else into the history of the story. So I wanted to, like, get a more in-depth, like, full picture of the story. One thing I was worried that the movie was going to do that it didn't, and I was super happy, was I thought it was going to be, like, the driving force of the story was going to be how did they figure out what the scientific formula, scientific combination of whatever it was that made the bomb work. I thought that was going to be, like, the driving force of the movie, was figuring out how to make the bomb work and getting into, like, the science mumbo jumbo of it all. There's a little bit of that in there. Of course, it's a movie about scientists, so they're talking about stuff like that, but it really was just more about who is Robert Oppenheimer. Who was he? Why did he do this? What was his life like? What did this impact on his life? What was the impact this had on his life? Which, I mean, I don't even think you could properly capture that. Just creating this thing, and that's such a, you know, has changed the world in a way that we maybe don't even appreciate enough. But it kind of didn't, like, bog down and, like, we have to make this hydrogen atom and this isotope and then we put them together. It didn't bog down in that. Just, like, kind of, like, almost yada that part of building the bomb, and just, like, focused in on, like, Oppenheimer, the people in his circle, what their lives were like. It was very much more character driven than what you would have expected, and I think that's what made it such a good movie. So, like I said, Barbie 4 stars, Oppenheimer 5 stars, both great movies. Would recommend go and see both. You know, Oppenheimer, you know, Barbie, no offense to Barbie, I think it's a movie you can watch on a small screen, so, you know, just if you want to hang out to whatever streaming service it ends up, Max probably. I think it's a Warner Brothers movie, so it'll probably end up on Max, which should be called HBO Max. That's so stupid. But Oppenheimer, like I said, I think it's a movie you need to see on the big screen and in, like, the intended format, which is the IMAX, like, 70mm. It was absolutely incredible. There's a few other summer movies that I want to get caught up on, so I'll probably do another movie Monday at some point in time. Asteroid City, Super Mario Brothers, the new Mission Impossible, and the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are all movies that I want to see that I haven't got a chance to see yet. I know Asteroid City is about to be on Peacock. Mario Brothers is already on Peacock, so I'll probably be able to get those in pretty easily. Mission Impossible, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we'll have to wait and see when I can fit those in my schedule. But one way or another, I'm going to watch those, and at some point in time, share my reviews of those on a Movie Monday here on the vlog. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the bell turned on for notifications if you haven't done so already. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed these movies, let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy them, let me know that too. I'm always open for discussion and to, like, kind of hear other people's opinions and thoughts on these type of things. Cinema, it's subjective, it's beautiful. Art, We love it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.